There are two reasons why one should stay here. If your intention is just well-being, you don't have to stay here. Do a program, make use of it, go and see whatever little difference that's happened to you, see if you can in some way rub it off, and people around you, see if you can make a difference wherever you are. That's good enough. If you can, even 10% of the time in a day, if you're conscious of a few things that you have learnt and implement it, you're making a difference. But now, your goal is not just your well-being, you want to make something happen in the world. That's become important now in this generation because as I said earlier, heavens are going to crumble. The younger generations are not going to believe in your stupid heaven because even if it's real, they will not want to go there because the descriptions of heaven are so outdated. They will ask you, is there Wi-Fi? They will not ask you, are there virgins out there? They want to know if there are Wi-Fi. Yes? So, it will become irrelevant. But human aspiration to experience something more will not go. If this generation, in the next 20-25 years, if we don't make a serious inward turn for this generation of people and the coming generation of people, I think percentages will work against us. In under 25 years, if there is no serious inward turn, which is spiritual but not religious, it is scientifically relevant and makes sense to your logic. If this is not brought about in the world, I think we would have lost the battle in 25 years' time because by then chemicals would have taken over, big time. Already, slowly, step by step, they are being legalized, you know. All I'm saying is, the essence of being human is, we have an intelligence above other creatures. We are capable of being aware beyond other creatures. This is not my ideology, this is the work of the evolution to push you from that level of existence to this level of existence. Because you don't know how to handle your brains, because it's bothering you so much, you want to get smashed out on the weekend. And another reason is because the heavens are crumbling, you want to have a weekend heaven at least. Thank God it's Friday. If God is what you want to meet, you must go to heaven. No, you're not any more interested in God, you're interested in the pleasures of heaven being imported here, isn't it? You're not willing to go there anymore, you want to be here and have some bigger experience, and you're not willing to work for it either, not do the right things either. So simple thing is pop a chemical and it works, but how long it works, what it does to you later is another question. If the entire population takes to it, it will become legal. So once this happens, this is a backward slide for the humanity. We don't know. Suppose, let's say, the entire population goes on hard drugs for, let's say, next 10 or 20 years. How far we will slide back? How many more centuries it will take once again to recover from that? Nobody can properly estimate, but it will be a disastrous amount of time. It will not be just damage to one generation, it will be damage to many generations, at least a few generations. So before this happens, turning a large segment of people inward, that they know how to sit here and be at least blissed out for a few minutes is important. If you don't give them a taste of this, they will slide that way. In that context, in this generation, you want to make it happen to the entire world, then you must come here because we are planning some big things. Another reason why you may want to come here is, you are not interested in just well-being. You want to know the very source of your creation. You want to know the entire mechanics of what makes you like this. Again, you must come here. But you are just interested in well-being. You're interested in living peacefully, joyfully, contributing to the society in which you live, then there is no need to come here. You just have to live the program in your home, in your office, in your workplace, wherever you are. So if well-being is the goal, no need to come here, you can come and go, no need to come and stay here. Either you want to see that in the next 20-25 years, we really turn a large segment of population inward, then you must come. Or you want to explore not the flesh of life, you want to get to the bones of life, then you must come, because that will take a different level of attention and involvement. Otherwise, come, make use of it, stay for a week and go back and see how you can make an impact wherever you are. Essentially, volunteering means to become willing, or in other words, to become an absolute yes to life. Most human beings are yes if it's convenient, no when it's not convenient. Yes if it's yielding something, no if it's not yielding something for them. A volunteer means there's only one thing that he's dropped, which is a very significant thing. He's just dropped this one calculation, what can I get? If a human being drops this one calculation, what can I get out of this? If he drops that, suddenly he becomes a phenomenon. This is something that I'm constantly demonstrating to people, what our volunteers can do. If you look at the Project Green Hands or the rural rejuvenation programs, and just about anything that's been done here, for example, the Dhyanalinga dome, to tell you what goes into it, the dome is made in such a way, there is no cement, there is no steel, there's no concrete. The simple technology is, all the bricks are trying to fall down at the same time, so they cannot. It's like everybody's trying to get out of the door and they cannot. Unless one person has the courtesy to move back, then they will go. But the bricks don't have courtesy. So they keep on trying to come down and they cannot come down. So for this to happen, it took 1.8 lakh bricks to build that. This 180,000 bricks, every one of them was measured to the millimeter by the volunteers. If somebody is little lax, somebody puts a brick which is 2 millimeters less than what it should be, the whole thing may collapse. So I sat down and I spoke to them, said, this is what it means, this is what I'm placing in your hands. You never handled a brick in your life, but you got to measure like this. And men, women, children sat down day and night and they measured and they measured and they measured and they kept these bricks. And now when they keep… it has to be just kept quickly so that it doesn't come down. One circle you have to complete at a time. And today you see that. I'm just saying just one example. Any number of things like this have been done. What is it that fires them? See, there is something beyond passion, there is something beyond motivation, there is something beyond profit, which is very significant for a human being, which generally most human beings never explore. Their whole life remains within certain expectations of profit, some passion towards it, some intensity. But volunteers live an intense life. This hall, normally we operate from there, our audio system is from somewhere else, suddenly they set up this whole thing. It's giving us some trouble. It's technology, we are not experts. So through the night people are working, but in the day they are working. When do they sleep? They don't. This is my experience. I'm like this, I'm on at least 22 hours a day, 7 days of the week. Because there's work going on in United States, in every part of the world, which are in different time zones. At 2 o'clock in the morning, if I just pick up my phone, somebody, one of the swamis or somebody picks up the phone, never once will I hear a goggy voice, "What, Sadhguru?" No. Sadhguru? It doesn't matter any time of the day or night. This is the greatest blessing, that you constantly live among people who are intense, focused and willing to give themselves to what needs to happen. This is the greatest pleasure a man can have, this is the greatest fortune a man can have, and fortunately we have it.